All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Another lovely day in Balboa Park. How about three cheers for Balboa Park? There's a lot of park lovers out here this morning. Thank you for joining us. My name is John Boltas. I'm proud to be the executive director of Friends of Balboa Park. I want to congratulate you. You are all sitting the closest that the public has sat to this magnificent tree since that ugly chain link fence went up in 1989. So, welcome back to the Moreton Bay fig tree. We have a number of very special guests, first and foremost, and you're going to be hearing from him in just a moment, the Honorable Mayor of San Diego, Todd Gloria. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for being here. We also want to welcome Council President Pro Tem Steve Whitburn. Thank you for being here. Our friend, the Director of the Parks and Recreation Department, Andy Field. And each and every one of you who know and love and cherish Balboa Park, who has given to this project and given to so many things that make a positive difference for this, the People's Park, thank you for being here. Thank you for loving Balboa Park. So I want to remind everyone, or if you didn't know, today is Arbor Day, so we couldn't have thought of a better way of reintroducing the public to this magnificent tree, the Moreton Bay fig tree. And as part of the celebration of that, we really want to thank our friends at San Diego Gas and Electric. Morgan Justice Black is here. Thank you, SDG&E, for supporting today's event. And SDG&E has donated to First Come First Serve. There are saplings, bay tree saplings, that are available to anyone who wants one on your way out. Thank you very much, Morgan, for bringing those. So this is a bit of a bittersweet event for Friends of Balboa Park. This is our last major park improvement that we are giving to the citizens of San Diego, this magnificent tree, as we continue on our journey to a merger with our friends at the Balboa Park Conservancy, scheduled for July 1. You'll hear more about that, but we're going off on a high note. We hope that you are just as proud of this incredible park improvement as we are pleased to give it to the citizens of San Diego. And it's a great legacy, a final exclamation point, if you will, for what Friends of Balboa Park has given back to the park, to the community since our founding in 1999. So it's a great privilege to be here and to sign off, if you will, and pass the torch on to our successors with the merged organization. Just a little bit about Friends of Balboa Park, if you're not familiar with us. We have actually put $8 million into the park since our founding in 1999, our investments. We've done over 300 park improvements around the park, ranging from the smallest, planting a plant here and there, to something like this, right, Pat? Pat Caughey, the project lead. You're going to hear from Pat here in just a moment. So we are really, we're proud of the legacy that we have, that we're passing along for the future, and we look forward to doing more with our friends at the Conservancy. So without further ado, I am very proud to introduce the Mayor of San Diego, the Honorable Todd Gloria.
Thank you, John. Good morning, everybody. Happy Arbor Day. What a great day to be in our city's crown jewel. Thank you all so much for being here. John, thank you for those wonderful comments and for what the Friends have done over such a long period of time. I think of so many incredible public improvements that we have benefited from as a community. You know, we call it our crown jewel, but it shines brighter because of the Friends of Balboa Park. And today is a shining example of that kind of commitment and contribution. So, round of applause for John, everybody. Can you get in the Friends of Balboa Park? And let me do what is a ritual when you're in Balboa Park, acknowledge the presence of the great Betty Peabody, who is the leader of this effort. Betty, thank you for all you have done. I feel a statue to Betty sometime in the future in this park. I mean, it's just necessary. It must be done. I am delighted to be here this morning with my partner in governing in the park, Council President Pro Tem Stephen Whitburn. Stephen's been on the job for a couple of months now. He cares about this park as passionately as Chris Caughey has, as Tony Atkins has, as I have, as Chris Ward, and I appreciate the tradition that he's bringing to maintaining the magnificence of this park. and collectively what you all are doing, because nothing in this park happens by one individual. It's all of us working together, and that's what we're really celebrating today. But I'd ask you for another round of applause, if you will. We get to come, many of you get to write checks, and I thank you for doing that. Many of you get to solicit those checks. I appreciate you doing that. Some of you project manage. That's important. But there are people who come to this park every single day and maintain it, keep it safe, keep it clean, and they do it often unheralded and without a lot of appreciation. So I'd ask you today on Arbor Day to thank our wonderful park and recreation staff who are back here and all out the community. To the men and women of our Parks Department, thank you guys so very much for what you do. Of course, they are led by the incredible Andy Field. Andy's always hearing from me about something in the city in one of our parks, and I know that he cares passionately about our park system and making sure that San Diegans can enjoy this beautiful asset. So let me get to why we're here today. This beautiful, beautiful tree that, as we were discussing on the way in, I have very fond memories. You know, I'm a third generation San Diegan. I was one of the kids rolling around down here, climbing up in these tree branches. How many of you all? Let me show of hands. How many? Yeah, I know. We didn't know we were doing something not so good for the tree, right? And a number of years ago, forward-looking San Diegans set aside a space, but as John said, not the most beautiful thing, not worthy of our city's crown jewel. And so as it's been the case throughout the history of the park, San Diegans banded together. And it took a while. All good things do take a while. But what we have today is this dedication of this observation deck, which will make sure that the integrity of this tree is maintained, that the health of it goes on for many, many more years to come, and really allows us an opportunity to experience the tree, as John mentioned, like no one has in a long time. No one has been this close to the tree and this long. The interpretive signage that will be here, the opportunities to get under the canopy and take a look at it on Arbor Day, I think we understand why that is so incredibly important. And I want to connect it up to our general efforts around climate, because our ability to enjoy this park really depends on whether or not we can continue to persist on this planet. And the opportunity to lift up and invest in trees and our natural environment is pretty critical. We need San Diegans to see the direct link between this tree and our collective future on this planet. So the investment by the Friends and by the donors and by the construction companies that made this possible, it's not just an observation deck, although that's pretty darn cool. It's really linked up to a broader effort that we're making here in the city to say that our climate is worth fighting for, that our natural environment's worth fighting for, and you guys are really leading on that effort. The last thing that I will say is that this project, a lot of us were in the park a lot over the last number of years, even when you really couldn't be in there. I know, I saw you hopping over those fences. We came to the park because we had to get out into the open air, right? We were stuck at home and we wanted to come experience the park. And my partner were out here a whole lot, peeking through. I didn't break the screen. I didn't do that, but I was definitely preening and looking over, trying to see what was going on. And what we saw were people who were working on this space, people who had jobs during a difficult economy. And I appreciate those of you, again, who made that possible. And those people who got up every day during a time when we were telling people to stay home to save their lives, they were out here making this investment in the park. And so I want to, if I may, forgive me for reading this list, but to the amazing local businesses that played a critical role in this particular project: J&W Lumber, California Deck Pros, San Diego Urban Timber, Southwest Border and Stone, and Graphic Solutions. Can we give a round of applause to the folks who did this work, who performed it? It's really important stuff. So you got other folks you have to hear from today, but I hope that you feel my enthusiasm for this project, for this park, and for all of you. And I ask you, as we look at the merger of the Friends and of the Balboa Park Conservancy, let's consider ways that we can keep the momentum going. I'll speak for the Council President Pro Tem when I say that we are absolutely committed to making sure that a strong public nonprofit partnership will be how we make our park better, stronger, and shine more brightly into the future. And today is a wonderful example of how that kind of partnership can get more done in our park. Thank you all for being a part of this. Thank you for what you will continue to do in our park. And happy Arbor Day, everybody. This is a great day for Balboa Park.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for those very kind words. Now it's my privilege and honor to introduce the representative of City Council District 3, Council President Pro Tem Steve Whitburn.
Well, thank you very much, John. It is really a great way to start the day, to be here with all of you and with my mayor, who inherited a challenging situation at City Hall and has addressed it in such a positive way. It is making such a great difference and such progress due to his leadership in these few 4 months. And what we are seeing happen in this city is really a reflection of that. It is an honor. It is an honor to serve as your representative for Balboa Park and the neighborhoods all around it. And one thing I know is that this district loves its trees. And it sure loves this tree right behind us in a really special way. When I'm having conversations with people about the various projects that are occurring in Balboa Park, the one that people really connect to emotionally so quickly is this one right here. Because so many people, as was mentioned before, have such fond memories of clambering around this tree as children. Maybe not the best thing for the tree, but fond memories nonetheless for so many people. It has been such an important figure in Balboa Park and part of what makes this park so special. So there's been a lot of excitement, as you know, for this project and years of anticipation for this day. And here we are. And what a beautiful day you have picked to celebrate this on Arbor Day. I am excited that this is once again going to provide protection for the tree while also allowing us again to appreciate its natural beauty up close. This is going to inspire the imaginations of children once again, as it has for so many generations before us, and who knows where that inspiration and experience will take them. And it inspires plenty of us grown-ups too, inspired by its natural beauty, inspired by its history, and we can take civic pride that this community-led project has been successfully completed to the benefit of residents and visitors to Balboa Park alike. This project has been made possible by so many people, and I want to extend my gratitude to the many dedicated leaders and friends of Balboa Park, volunteers like John and Sarah Evans, our city's hard-working park and recreation staff and director Andy Field, the incredibly generous financial donors who have contributed to this project, the diligent workers who have erected this amazing platform, of course the amazing design and work of Pat Caughey. And to all of you, it is your time, your energy, your devotion to improving our Balboa Park that has made all of this possible. So I really look forward to generations of San Diegans and tourists alike continuing to come to this park and enjoying what you have created for them. Thank you for making our city even better than it is. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Before I introduce our next speaker, I want to introduce what he represents and who he represents. Can I have everyone kind of look around about 180 degrees right behind you there, this lineup of staff here, the folks from Parks and Recreation. Way to go, Parks and Recreation staff, the hardest working department in the city of San Diego. And with that, I'm honored to bring up the leader of the Park and Recreation Department, Andy Field.
Thank you, John, and good morning, everyone. Happy Arbor Day and welcome to Balboa Park. It's an honor to be here and to see all of you here to celebrate this great day. And as many of you recall, over the past year, we've been through a very difficult time with the coronavirus pandemic. But through that entire time, we've worked tirelessly to partner with the Friends of Balboa Park, the Balboa Park Conservancy, the Cultural Partnership, and many others to improve this park. So when you come back, you're going to see changes. Positive ones, beginning here with this deck. And if you were to turn the corner over here to see brand new paving on the El Prado itself and the replacement of water pipes that are over 100 years old. So as we see that investment and we see over the past year, we've been working hard for you, and we do look forward to seeing many more improvements in Balboa Park in the months and years to come. And the sound of the beeping and of the construction trucks and so forth really speaks to the fact that everyone really cares about this park and wants to make it happen. But it doesn't happen without the village we have here in Balboa Park. And it makes me very proud, number one, to have all of you here to be so important in getting all of this together, finding the financing and the funding, getting all the contractors, as the mayor mentioned earlier, and having this really turn into a beautiful space. And then also equally important is the pride that I take of the work of our staff. I know I can't say enough of good things about them. We've heard from others already, so I will not belabor the point, but even the turf that's right behind us, just installed a few days ago by our hardworking city staff. And just want to give a shout out for them again. And also a shout out to Ranger Kim, recently retired, who's here in the back. And just want to acknowledge that even in retirement, he still comes here and loves this park. So with that, please join me in celebrating today and seeing what a fabulous ad this is to Balboa Park. And I look forward to seeing many more fabulous ads to this park in partnership with you. Thank you. John?
Thank you very much, Andy. And let me just say, I just can't speak highly enough of Andy and his team. They're just magnificent to work with. They're salt of the earth people. They work their butts off. They've been a great partner on this project and elsewhere throughout Balboa Park. So when it's budget time, fight for Parks and Recreation, okay? All right. Well, I'm very pleased and honored to introduce the chair of the board of directors of Friends of Balboa Park and a partner to me in trying to get things done like this and other great things for Balboa Park and set a path for the future, including with our upcoming merger with the Balboa Park Conservancy. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Evans.
Thanks for coming, everyone, to celebrate this majestic tree and this majestic bench or deck. So thank you so much, Pat. I'll get to that in a second. Oh, sorry, I'm short. First thing I want to do is say thank you to all of the donors who made this possible. Without the financing that you so generously gave, we would still be looking at that awful fence. So thank you to all of our donors. Also, I want to echo the thanks to our Parks and Rec department who were instrumental in this partnership that made this happen. Special thanks to Megan Shaw for all that she did. I understand that she was instrumental in the scanning that we had to do, and without all of your work, we couldn't be here today. I want to recognize my fellow board members. It's kind of not fair that I'm up here today. I've only been board chair for 3 months now. My predecessors are here today, though. David Marshall is here, George Hardy is here. They were both the prior board chairs. They really were instrumental in the leadership that made this happen, as were all the other board members who banded together to be here today. So thank you to all of the board members, especially to Betty, who is our soul. I also want to give thanks to the Balboa Park Conservancy. Today is not the end of what Friends of Balboa Park is going to do for the park. Instead, it's just the beginning of what we're going to do with the Balboa Park Conservancy, and we are so excited to merge with them and show you guys what's yet to come. So it's going to be great. Finally, it is my great pleasure to, on behalf of our board, say thank you so much, Pat, for all that you have done to make this happen. You took an idea and made it into a vision that is worthy of this beautiful tree. Thank you so much for stewarding this, for making this happen, and for this work of art that you have created. So please come up because we have a special thank you. And I also want to invite your daughter, Megan Caughey, and Monica Morose, who are here to present you with what I think is kind of the coolest thank you gift I might have ever seen.
Okay.
So this is an artistic representation of the tree that we are all standing under, that Monica worked on hours and hours, and that is the perfect thank you for all that you've done. So thank you very much, Pat. And there's one more. There is a plaque right behind me that says, Patrick Caughey with gratitude from the Friends of Balboa Park. Great.
Well done, Pat.
Pat.
Oh boy. Okay. About 5 years ago, John came to my office, and we've always had this awareness that the Parks and Recreation staff have a list of projects, like a wish list, that needed to be kept in play, and of the dozens and dozens of projects. John said, "Hey, Pat, you're a landscape architect. Why don't we think about looking at something to improve this tree?" I should have said no right then, because 5 years later, it's been quite an ordeal, but it's been great. So the first idea was to replace the fence, and the fence actually that was here is in the same place that the new fence is. In fact, that fence would have been right behind the deck here, so you could never have gotten this close to the deck, to the tree, without that fence being removed, or at least separated, and putting this platform in place. So that started the journey. And that journey involves a lot of meetings with a lot of parks committees, a lot of city staff, a lot of donors. Thank you very much, to try to get this implemented. And what turned into what I thought was maybe 6 months worth of processings turned into pretty much close to 5 years. But I do want to thank John for bringing up the idea, and obviously it was, talk about low-hanging fruit. We thought this could be something we could handle easily, but obviously it's taken a village, and we appreciate that. Mayor, thank you for recognizing many of the people that contributed from the industry. But I just want to mention these are all San Diego businesses. Blake Carter with California Deck Pro. My goodness, he's probably tired of me calling. There's a few here. Aaron Ackerman with Timber Tech, which is actually the product that we have from here that we're using. Charmaine with J&W Lumber. Chris Presmick with Hunter Industries. I don't know if Chris is here, but we always call upon Hunter. I have this knack for politely arm twisting a lot of folks, and these are all people that I've had really good relationships with. So Craig Moans with Benchmark Landscape. I was out here a couple weeks ago with his crew. We were putting in the rocks in front. Michelle with Southwest Boulder. She's the owner of Southwest. I referred to her for years, and she helped us, basically bring it down to the last wire, which included West Coast turf, which I was able to get a pretty good price on the sod, so we can get the Parks Department to put that in. And then last but not least, Mike Hakem, who is our go-to electrician for Friends of Balboa Park. He's helped us on the carousel. He helped us here. He was here last night making sure that the lights were on. So it's a great, as I said, village effort. So again, as mentioned, Arbor Day has been, the perfect day to have this event. But why we do celebrate Arbor Day and why it's so important. And Mayor Gloria referenced the idea of how this affects climate change. It's very important. A good colleague and friend of mine, Dennis Otsuji, who's also a landscape architect, his mantra is we need to plant more trees. And whenever he looks at designs, he's always asking, where are the trees? And I think both Dennis and I learned that from my business partner, Joe Yamada, who Joe always asked us as junior landscape designers, we need more trees. Where are you going to put the trees? And the reason for that is twofold. One, aesthetically, it's an important addition to any landscape design. It's a critical addition. But at the same time, it's also important to understand that trees don't mature overnight. We can plant trees all day long, but it takes years, decades, about 100 years for this. And that's an important part of understanding that what we plant today will not necessarily satisfy our concerns for beautiful trees. It'll satisfy future generations. And so that's why planting trees is so important. And I think just to end this, what does this deck and all the effort gone into it mean to me? It's really not about the deck as much for me. It's about giving everyone in San Diego a chance to enter under this tree's canopy and to really enjoy and respect the beauty of this tree that we have here and the beauty of all the trees in Balboa Park. And they're precious commodity to us, and we'll never be able to plant enough trees. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Pat. And by the way, let me just say, on Pat's behalf, thank you, Jen Caughey. Thank you for loaning Pat to us these last 4 years for this project. Very much appreciate that. I have to highlight the fact that Pat Caughey has donated thousands and thousands of hours pro bono of his time. I think it was estimated by somebody that the value of Pat's contribution with the design and the project stewardship of this deck is upwards of $80,000. So that is a gift to the city of San Diego. Thank you, Pat. Just an extraordinary generosity. Very much appreciated. I do want to mention, I'm noticing that there are some benches back behind you here. You may have noticed this. The lovely Dorothea Laub is modeling one as we speak. She is the sponsor of one of these benches. These benches were made possible by San Diego Urban Timber. And these benches are made out of eucalyptus trees that were recovered from here in Balboa Park, milled, and the brackets were welded up and brought here. And thanks to the support of great folks, actually the charter members of our donor class, if you will, Dorothea Laub, the Peaches, Robert and Andrea Peach, Ray Wade, a former member of our board of directors, and Betty Beister. You'll see their names on the plaques here. We want to thank you very much for being the lead donors and making this project possible. And along those lines, we actually do have a fifth bench right over here that is still available for sponsorship. See me afterwards if you'd like. Okay, thank you very much for coming out. I'd like to ask, we're going to have a little ribbon cutting ceremony. We have to have a ribbon cutting ceremony. We were actually going to do it on the outside of the deck, but it was too hot out there. So we wanted to have you here. So we're going to do a little ceremony up here.
Are we ready? 1, 2, 3.
One more time.
There we go.
Thank you for coming today. Please don't forget to grab a sapling. First come, first serve. Enjoy the Moreton Bay Fig Tree.